Hey everyone. So I want to drop in here and talk about some more miracles that are happening. I know I've been talking about this almost daily now, and it just keeps on coming. Keeps on coming. So yesterday morning I was given a nudge to reach out to somebody who's also a part of the AJC school with us and just to reach out and support him any way I could. So we weren't connected on Facebook. We had a WhatsApp group going. So I reached out via Facebook Messenger and then also in the WhatsApp, not the group, but I reached out to him directly in WhatsApp, and I was like, okay, cool, see what happens. I was given the nudge to reach out. I've reached out to a lot of people in the group, hadn't reached out to him yet, and it dawned on me. I was like, oh wow, so because we're in the same WhatsApp group, I actually have his number, and he's here in the States, so I can call him. So I figured I'd give it most of the day. We went about our business, we ran some errands, did some things, and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I called this guy and didn't get any answer, left a message, and then sent him a text message. So from there, we went over to our neighbor's house for a cookout, just some burgers and dogs, nothing big, just a Labor Day thing. And while we were there, he called me back. And inside this house, there's virtually no service. And here in Florida, you either don't wear shoes inside the house or you don't wear shoes outside the house, flip flops or bare feet, whatever. So I said, hey, I got to take this, and I got to step outside to take this because there was no service. So I walk outside to take this call from this guy. And as I walk out to the front, I'm listening to part of his conversation, and then I step on this sharp knot on this root of a tree. It was like stepping on a Lego. And you can imagine I'm on the phone trying not to indicate I'm in pain, doing the silent scream, going foot up in the air, bouncing on one foot. And listen to this guy's conversation. Listen to this guy's story. And he had an amazing story. And throughout the entire story, we talked about some of the hardships he's had, some of the things he's been through, some of the things I've been through. And we had a great conversation. And towards the end, he said he's enrolled in the coaching school, but he has no idea how he's going to get there. He doesn't have a plane ticket yet. He doesn't have a place to stay. And we talked for a bit longer. And we got off the phone. I was like, okay, time to create a miracle. Time to create another miracle. And so I immediately messaged my coach Ankush and I said, hey, I'm on a mission now to help this guy get to London. And so I went back inside to our neighbor's house where we were hanging out, and I was basically out to lunch. I was not in there. I was not present with those folks, and I normally am. However, the wheels were turning in my mind. Who can I talk to? What can I do? What can we create here to help this guy get to our coaching school in London next week? So I was kind of halfway there talking, and after a few minutes, I said to my wife, I'm like, hey, baby, I think we have a lot of things to do. It's probably time to go. And so we left. Got back to the house, and first thing I did was pull up the Travelocity, one of those sites. I did use Travelocity. And I checked for what was the most discounted price to get there from where this guy is. Found the price, and I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So then I called my wife back into the room and I said, hey, here's what I'm thinking. I said, we need to create a miracle for this guy. And I showed her videos of this guy, told her the story, and she said, well, if the universe is calling you to do this, then do it. So within about an hour, we pulled enough strings from various places to create the ticket for this guy to go to London. And I was like, cool, awesome. I'm all excited. I got it all reservation ready to go, ready to pull the trigger, just need his information. So I texted him like 3 times. I was like, hey, when you ready to chat again? And nothing. Like, hey, dude, call me in the next 30 minutes if you can, because I'm worried about this thing timing out. Nothing. Like, hey, man, I am getting you to London. Call me ASAP. And so when I had earlier messaged Ankush and said, hey, I'm on a mission to get this guy to London, he messaged me back like after I'd already sent those text messages and said, hey, I'm on the phone with him now. I said, cool, have him call me right away because I'm going to get him there. And he did. And we had a great conversation again, and we got him scheduled. And so that was the miracle. It was like nothing in the world said that we should be able to make this happen. I mean, we didn't really have the funds. Other people didn't. We made this happen to where we could get this guy to London to be there, because the coaching school would not be the same without this guy there. And so it's the reason I bring up the story is that when the universe is around, I've talked about this earlier. I've talked about this several times in the last couple of weeks. Pay attention to the signs of the universe, the nudges you get, the things that you get from the universe, from the divine, from God, whatever you want to say, whatever your thing is, because they're there. And when we pay attention, those things happen. They happen. And you can create miracles on the spot if you get over your fear and you have the courage to do so. You can create those miracles. And this was a miracle we created. And we created this miracle for this guy who is now not only going to be there with us in London next week, he's also going to be on the same flight. We're both flying into DC together from different locations, and then we're on the same flight from DC to London. So even another miracle. And it gets better. So that was a miracle. I felt great about doing that. Been floating all night and all morning. And then mid-morning this morning, I get a message from a friend of mine who says, hey, I just got a message from my boss, and he's asking me if I can find a coach to replace the coach that was supposed to speak for our leadership team for 2 hours at the end of October at our offsite meeting. He's like, I'm asking you because I'm wondering if you're interested. I'm like, yeah. So because I haven't had the conversation with him about sharing this, I'm going to keep names out of it. However, this guy works for a very large corporation, very well known. Everybody knows this company. And to be considered to speak to their leadership team is phenomenal. Phenomenal. In fact, when I get off this live, I'm going to finish the presentation, the proposal presentation to them. But again, all this happens. And so after yesterday's miracle, I had a couple people tell me, guess what? You are delivering what the universe is telling you to deliver. The universe will deliver to you. Now, I didn't expect anything to happen. I didn't expect anything to come back. I was just happy serving and delivering. And then today, the universe delivered back. And I'm like, holy crap, look at this. Look at what happens. So when you really step into your being and step into who you're meant to be and serve the way you're meant to serve, it all comes back. It's like Zig Ziglar used to say, you can have anything you want in life if you help others get what they want. And I spent all day yesterday not worried about anything I was getting in return. I didn't care. I don't care. I still don't care. I was just worried about getting this guy to London for our coaching school. And as a result, today, new opportunities presented themselves. So think about that. Think about that next time you're in a situation where you're not sure you can really create what you need to create. You're not sure you should really do something. And think about it. Instead of thinking to yourself, oh, this is never going to work. Think about, how can I make this work? How can I create this in my world? Instead of looking for reasons why it won't work or can't work, start thinking about, how can I make it work? What can I do to make this work? What can I do to create this? Because when you start switching that thought process and thinking about how you can create, then you will. And the sky is the limit. That's what I got for you today. Thank you for listening. Always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends. Awesome.